One of the biggest differences between the console version and the PC version of Elder Scrolls Online is the in-game menu. In this video, I am going to show you what's what and how to do some things that might not otherwise be clear. We'll start with inventory. One of the important things you will need to learn how to do is slot consumables. Whether it be potions, food, siege weapons, or what have you, every consumable needs to be slotted in order to be used in combat. In your inventory screen, go to Consumables. Once there, find the consumable you wish to slot and hit the Assign button. Next, use the left stick to place it into the desired slot. You can now use this consumable, but you must select it to do so. To select it, hold the up arrow on the D-pad and use the stick to navigate to the item you just slotted, then press the X button. Now, when you press up on the D-pad, you will consume that item. The action bar will appear if you're out of combat and you can see how many of that items you have left and how long remains on its cooldown. Next, we'll take a look at how to compare items. To do this, go to your inventory screen and go down to Equipment. Inside the Equipment heading, you will see Weapons and Armor. Select the item that you wish to view by pressing the Select button. The item you just chose will remain on the right hand of the screen, and you are free to scroll through the items you wish to compare to it. You can unequip the item and select another one, and then compare the newly selected item the same way. Skills in the console version of the game can be a bit more confusing than on the PC version. To navigate the skills of a particular line, go to the Skills tab, scroll down to the selected line, and press the Select button. Here you can view what each skill does, at what level it becomes unlocked, and you can place points into morphs or unlock new skills. If you wish to change your skills or move them around in your skill bar, simply press the Select button as soon as you enter the menu, then scroll right or left to the skill you wish to change, and scroll down to the skill you wish to slot there, finally pressing the Assign button. The triangle button will bring up your alternate skill bar if you are level 15 or higher, allowing you to slot skills the same way. Campaigns in Elder Scrolls Online are how the players PvP in Cyrodiil. There is a 30-day campaign, 14-day campaign, and a 7-day campaign. There is also a non-veteran campaign. These numbers simply represent the number of days that a campaign continues before the map is reset. Only non-veteran players can enter the non-veteran campaign, and this one lasts just 5 days. You cannot join a campaign until you have reached character level of 10. You can see on the right that there are 3 color widgets around each faction. These represent the amount of players currently participating in PvP for that faction in that campaign. The more fielding widgets, the more players are playing for that faction. This will help you pick a campaign that is busy and where there is some action to be found. Once you have determined which campaign you wish to participate in, you will need to choose whether to set as home or guest. You can only gain points towards the leaderboards in your home campaign. There are only 4 servers, and it is advised that you simply set it to home. If you really want to, however, you can change home campaigns one time for free, and then it would cost you alliance points, should you decide to do so again in the future. Alliance points are the PvP currency you gain from killing enemies and capturing keeps. For the Journal tab, you can navigate to quests to get a full description of what it is you must do. To show the map, you hit the Show Map button and then you hit the Quest Journal button. It will keep the map open, showing you where each quest is located. If you wish to see other regions or zone maps, simply hit R1 here. Scroll down to the desired region, press the Select button and then hit Back. You are free to navigate the map and can fast travel to any wasteland you have unlocked for the fee of gold shown on the screen. The Social panel is where we will spend most of this video, as it can be the most confusing, especially for players new to MMOs. First, we'll start with the voice chat. This feature is actually pretty intuitive and can be used quite effectively for communications once you get the hang of it. Bring up the Options menu and select Social, then Voice. Once inside the Voice Chat tab, you will see a list of channels. you will be on Area by default. This means you can communicate with people near you. You can see who these players are by their names on the participant column. Next is the group chat. This is the chat that you will use when grouped with other players. This chat will automatically begin when another player joins your group. After that are your guild chats. You can have up to 5 guilds in the Elder Scrolls Online, and the chats for each one will display here in the order where you accepted them. You will have to manually enter these chats in order to be able to communicate with members of each of your guilds, and you can only be active in one of the chats at a time. Next up in the social panel are the emotes. There are lots of emotes in this game, and they're a fun part that you shouldn't miss out on. There are many subcategories with different emotes, but you can only slot 8 at a time. You can still use any gesture by going to the emotes menu, selecting the category and pressing the use button on the one you wish, but again, you can only have 8 quick slotted. To quick slot an emote, scroll to it and press the assign button. Once pressed, you will have to use the stick to place it in the desired slot, and then press the button again. To use your quick slotted emotes, hold right on the D-pad until the wheel comes up and use the stick to navigate to it. The grouping tab is where you will use the group finder tool and invite. This means leave and travel to players in your group. You can designate your role or roles at the top of this menu and then select the dungeon you wish to queue for by navigating to it, pressing the select button and then pressing join queue. Once this is done, you are free to continue questing or crafting until the finder fills up your group and you have enough players to run that dungeon. This, however, can take an extremely long time, so be patient. The guild panel is where you will spend your time viewing information about your guilds. You can see what your guild owns, if you have a guild trader, what the message of the day is, and info about the guild. The roster tab will show you who is in the guild and what rank they are, what level they are, what class they are, and which faction they belong. It will also show you whether they are online and where they are currently located. Remember that players can join guilds of any faction, but they can only PvP with players from their own faction. The rank tab shows you the ranks and permissions available for the guild. The history tab shows you recent actions of your guild members. This is a very good way to see who joined or left and what has been taken or deposited into your guild bank. Under the Options tab, you can invite members to your guild, change the message of the day, change the About Us section, as long as you have permissions to do so, or leave the guild if you wish. You will need to be re-invited if you leave. Under the Friends screen, you will see who of your friends list are online and info about them. It is also noteworthy that if your friends are on the other server, you will not see them here. The Mail panel is where you will receive messages from other players, receive items purchases from guild stores or traders, and where you will receive important notices from Zenimax if need be. If you have hirelings, you will receive materials from them here as well. You can also use the mail to send items or gold to other players. To do this, scroll down to the To section and enter the player's online ID. Add a subject line if you wish, but this isn't required, and then add a message if you wish, but that is also not required. To send gold, scroll to the Send Gold tab and enter the amount you wish. If you want to add attachments, then scroll down to the Attach Item section, press Select, and select the item you wish to add. You can only send 6 items per email. When you have finished, scroll down and press Send. Now for some interesting tips that we have noticed while playing. The console version of Elder Scrolls Online has many options that you may not be aware of. 2 of the important ones are the third and first person point of view. These sliders allow you to zoom in or out on your character, allowing you to adjust how far behind your character the camera sits. If you wish to zoom out even further, then outside of the options menu, hold the down button on the D-pad and pull back or forward on the right stick until you are satisfied with the distance. There are not many options in the controls department, but one of them is changing your crouch button. This can be done under the templates section. You can also put prevent attacking innocents on to make sure that you don't accidentally attack someone you don't want to. This might be a good idea for new players early on, as fine from guards can cost them quite a bit of gold. If you prefer to show your face at all times, there is also an option to hide your helmet. Another interesting aspect is that you can set auto loot on. This is, however, a double-edged sword. It drastically speeds up loading time, but you will often fill your bags quickly with things that you don't really want or need. There is also an auto-loot stolen item setting that only applies to these. It is probably a good idea to leave this off until you are more familiar with the game. New players will want to take advantage of turning on health bars constantly, as it will help you distinguish players and it is very useful in combat. Another setting is to have the ability bar always on. This way, you can remember which button does what. The last tip we have for this video is that we suggest that you turn down the volume on player voice. For whatever reason, voice in Elder Scrolls Online are drastically louder than they are in party chat, which can be quite painful. Set it one time to the desired level and never worry about it again. That is all that we have for now. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video and that you have learned some things. If you have your own tips, remember that you can add them to the wiki at Fextralife.